then just in case other people pop on, and we'll get started. Okay, so as you come to your comfortable seat, I'm going to take a moment here to just check in and notice what's happening right here, right now in your body. So take that time to shift and move, adjust, make it more comfortable. And then as you give a little press into your legs, into your upper thighs, right up at the hip creases, use that press as a way to be able to lengthen your sides, draw your shoulder blades onto your back. Eyes closed if that's comfortable. Take a couple big breaths here and begin to let yourself tune in a little bit more deeply into what's happening in your body, in your mind. As you notice some of those details of what is happening today, you get to notice them without any kind of judgment. Just bring awareness to whatever the sensation is and where it is, maybe the quality of that sensation. Take another couple of deep breaths. And then connect hands together at heart center and tuck your chin in as you bow toward your heart. And then as you softly open your eyes and release your hands down, give your shoulders a lift up and back. Shoulder blades are engaging here. And then we'll start some gentle twisting here. As you draw your right shoulder forward, your left shoulder back, pause here and find more length as you inhale, lifting up through your ribs, your collarbones, back of your neck. As you exhale, engage a tiny bit through the low ribs to help you twist a tiny bit more. Inhale, come back into center. Exhale, take that twist over to the right side. So your left shoulder is forward, right shoulder is back. And again, as you inhale and find even more length through your spine, notice that length from tail to crown. Then exhale, ribs in to help you twist a little more. Inhale, come back into center. And exhale, this time we'll take it a little deeper if that's in your practice, reaching right hand across to your left knee or thigh. You can always come to your foot instead, that's okay. But then press your left fingertips down behind you and lengthen even more. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist. Inhale back into center. And exhale, take that slightly deeper twist across to the right side. And remember that you're always welcome to back out of it if it's a little too deep for you. Inhale, lengthen even more. Exhale, ribs into twist. Inhale, come back into center. And now as you walk your hands a little bit forward, we're going to take a little stretch through the shoulders here. So you're taking your hands as far away from your body as is comfortable. And then you're taking your right arm underneath your left arm. You might come down to your elbow. You might come down a little further toward your shoulder and the side of your head. Wherever that happens to be for you, take a big deep breath right here. And think of lengthening through your sides. Think of ribs moving more forward. Exhale, maybe draw your ribs in to help you twist a tiny bit more here. Then inhale back up to center. And exhale, left arm reaches underneath. And as you come to that place that's right for you, it might be different on this side. You might find yourself coming a little further into it or not quite as deep. Find where that is for you. Find a longer spine as you inhale. Exhale, your ribs help you to twist a tiny bit more. Then inhale, come back into center, and then rise all the way back upright. Switch the cross of your legs, come into the less comfortable cross for yourself, and shift your sitting bones. Move them back and broad. And then as you press down with your hands on your thighs, lift up through your sides, draw shoulder blades onto your back. And now tuck your chin in. We'll get a little into the back of the neck here. Shake your head no toward the ground. Keep a little gentle squeeze of shoulder blades here. Then inhale, lift your chin up, and even more so, think of reaching through your chin and through your jaw up toward the ceiling. And then little shakes of your head no. Then back into center now. Take your hands just behind you, or if you want, you can clasp here. As you lift your shoulders up and back, take a big deep breath, and if your fingertips are on the ground, you're pressing. If your hands are clasped, you're lifting your ribs up, your collarbones up. Take a full big deep breath. And then gently release your hands, coming back upright. And we'll shift forward onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, we're setting ourselves up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Now we'll get a little bit into the outside edges of our legs where our IT bands are. So as you take your hips over to the right side, a little sway of your hips here, we're gonna pause with that right leaning action. Take a full big breath. And intentionally tilt your sitting bones a little bit up. And then shift your hips over to the left side. And as you take them to the left, again, you're going to tilt sitting bones a little bit up, extend further forward with your heart. And now back into center. And as you take your hips to the right this time, if it's in your practice, you can set them all the way down. Left hand can always come up off the ground. Or you can rise up to your fingertips here. You can always stay up higher with your hips. You don't have to bring them down. But now, ribs draw in to help you turn your torso just a little bit more. So it's aiming toward the ground. A little bit of a twist. And now inhale back up to center. Reset yourself. Exhale, hips over to the left. And again, if you want to, you can set them all the way down. You don't have to. And then you can use your right fingertips here to help you push. Draw your ribs in to help you twist a little bit more with your torso toward the ground. Then inhale back into center. Now big toes together, knees wide, settle hips all the way back towards your heels into your child's pose. And as you settle your head down, you can add a few movements here, shifting a little side to side through hips, through sides, maybe reaching further forward with your arms. One more big deep breath. And now as you rise up to your hands and knees, set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Find that rotation of your upper arm bones and push. Expanding into the upper back, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose, and take a big breath. If down dog feels particularly hard this morning, then maybe you bring your knees down and stay on hands and knees. But as you tilt your sitting bones up, try to push from your lats through your hands and grow a little bit longer. And now walking feet forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Extend your heart forward, sitting bones lift. Exhale and fold over your legs. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. And now hands to hips. Press back on hips, start to lift up through elbows, up through shoulders, and rise all the way up to stand. And now from this place, set your feet up, inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and root them down. And now let's take hands, fists to your low back and give a little press down onto your low back as you start to lift up and open through your chest. Think of ribs lifting, collarbones lifting, little tiny back bend here. hugging shoulder blades toward each other. Then inhale all the way back upright, and now let's take hands in front to clasp and pull forward with your arms. As you round back through the upper back, chin tucks in, take a full big breath into that space between the shoulder blades. And then even add a little bit of that side to side sway that we often do when we're sitting. Sometimes when we do it when we're standing, this enables that stretch to move a little further down our back body. And then as you come back into center now, releasing your arms, turn your palms to face forward. Reach through fingertips, lift up and open through your shoulders. Eyes closed here if you would like, take a full big breath. Then inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, long through the spine. Exhale and fold. Fingertips can plant on blocks here if you'd like. Step your right foot back into your lunge. And right knee can be up or down. You get to choose today. Set your left hip back in space. Your hips are a little bit more even and extend further with your front body. Ribs move forward, collarbones move forward. Take a deep breath. And now we're going to take that spinal twist here where we set our right hand on a block or the floor. Back knee can always come to the ground. Left hand to your knee, turn your belly and your heart to the left side. And as you take that spinal twist, put both shoulder blades on your back. Push with your right hand and think of that push helping your ribs to lift up a little higher. Turn a little more open, maybe stretch up. Deep, full breath. Remember that top hand can always stay at the knee, stay at the thigh or the hip. One more big breath right here. Exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. And if your back knee is down, go ahead and lift it up and step forward. Inhale, lengthen part way. And exhale to fold. And now fingertips plant again, stepping the left foot back this time into your lunge. Wrap the right hip back so your hips are working more toward even. And then settle a little deeper into your front knee. Extend your heart further forward. Big breath. Good. Now setting left hand on a block or the floor on the edge of your mat. Right hand to your knee as you start to turn your belly and your heart to the right side. And then remember, it's that push into your left hand that helps you lift your ribs even more and aids in that twist. So now if you want to, you can stretch up. You can keep your hand down if you want. Deep breath. One more full breath. And exhale. Both hands come all the way back down to the ground. And we're settling back onto hands and knees or into a downward facing dog, whichever feels good in your body right now. Take a full breath and push. From lats out through your hands, tilt sitting bones, lift them. And then if you're not already on your knees, go ahead and bring knees down, hips to heels. Take a moment in a child's pose to check out how things are feeling now. And now inhale, rise to hands and knees. And as you exhale, lift hips to down dog, or you're welcome to stay on hands and knees. Take a big deep inhale. And as you exhale, walk forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Hands to hips. Pressing back on hips, lift shoulders up, lift elbows up, and rise all the way up. As you come up to stand, we're going to take our balance and we're going to take a twist in our balance. So you're welcome to, and actually, why don't we all come to the wall for this one? We're going to take our twist with our right side next to the wall first. And so we're going to utilize the wall to help us find more length through our spine. So bring your right fingertips to the wall and move away from it enough so you have a little bend to your elbow, okay? So now from this place, we're going to balance on our left foot and bring our right knee up in toward our chest. And now as you lift your knee up, you're going to take a hold with your left hand. And I'm going to turn sideways so hopefully you can see. As you hold on to your knee, you're also going to wrap your right hip down. So your hips become a little bit more level, okay? So now as you inhale here, lengthen through your sides, exhale from your ribs, draw in and begin to twist toward the wall. If you'd like, you can work your right fingertips a little further back. If you'd like to test your balance a little bit, you can take your hand away from the wall. But if you stretch your arm back, think of making sure that it's coming straight out from your shoulder. And I will again turn sideways so you might be able to see. Instead of trying to reach back behind you, think of your shoulder joint staying in line. Full big deep breath. Let the twist happen more from your ribs. Inhale, come back into center. Give your knee a squeeze. And exhale, release your foot down. And give yourself a moment with both feet on the ground. Shake out your legs. And now we'll turn around to face the other way. And if that means you're not facing the camera anymore, it's okay. A little shift of perspective there, right? So as you find left side close to the wall, little bent elbow for your left arm, and finding your balance onto your right foot and lifting your left knee up. Holding on to your left knee with your right hand, wrap your right hip or your left hip down, rather. Use your fingertips on the wall to help you push in and lift your ribs higher. Exhale, ribs draw in to help you twist. Maybe you walk your hand further back on the wall. Maybe you take your hand away from the wall. Maybe you don't, or just test it and let your hand come back. Whatever feels the best in your body today, take an inhale, lift your ribs. Exhale, ribs into twist. Arm is in line with the shoulder. One more breath. Good. Inhale, come back into center. And exhale, foot back down to the ground. Come on back to the front of your mat. And as you find feet inner hip bone distance apart and parallel, lift and spread your toes and then root. Hands come to your heart. Close your eyes and take a moment with your breath to tune in. Bring it to an even and slow place. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bend knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale and fold. Plant hands, step back to your hands and knees. And from hands and knees, we're going to take one more twist before we come all the way down onto our backs. So we know and love this twist. I'm pretty sure all of you have done this with me. This is our threaded needle, but you have your choice. You can be on hands and knees where your knees and your hands have a little distance to take this twist, or you can set your hips further back towards your heels in a child's pose. So the twist is more through your shoulders, your choice. So as you find which variation feels the best, we're going to pass the right arm through to the left side and come down toward our shoulder, side of our head, similar to what we did while we were sitting, only possibly adding that extra space to be able to move through. So left fingertips can be your helper here, pushing down. Maybe you inch your shoulders further underneath. Maybe you don't. Find that place where you can take an easeful breath. And then gently unwind, coming back to either that hands and knees position or more of the child's pose position. And then pass left arm through to the right side. Right fingertips are there to help you be able to inch a little further underneath with your shoulder, or you get to just stay right where you are and take, again, an easeful breath. And then gently unwind, coming back to hands and knees. And now we're going to come to sitting, all the way down on sitting bones. Legs come out in front. And then we'll take just a small twist while we're sitting. So let's come back to a cross-legged position. I was going to do more of a cross with the legs, but we'll do that in a minute from reclined. So move your sitting bones, and as you press down with fingertips, lift up and open through your heart space. Then reach across with your right hand to your left knee or thigh. This time, press down with fingertips for a moment with your left hand to lengthen. Then if you would like, you can lift your left arm to the sky. If that makes it a little bit more difficult to sit tall, then use your fingers on the ground to help you. But inhale, lengthen, lift your ribs. Exhale, from your ribs, twist a little bit more. Lengthen from hip to armpit on the left side, maybe stretch a tiny bit over to the right side. And inhale, rise all the way back up. And then take that twist over to the right side. Left hand to your near thigh, right fingertips behind you or beside you, press down and lengthen. And then you decide if you'd like to add that reach with your right arm. Inhale, lift the ribs. Exhale, twist from the ribs. Inhale, maybe stretch a little further over to the left side. And inhale, rise all the way back up. Now switch the cross of your legs and then walk your hands forward, taking a little bit of a counter pose here to your twists in a forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen. Then you might be up high or even on blocks here, but exhale and fold a little bit deeper. Then inhale, rise all the way back up, footprints to the ground, and we're going to come all the way down to our backs. And as you come down to your back, make sure props are handy. And then as you pull your knees up close, take a moment to notice if narrow knees or wide knees feels better on the body, and take a couple big breaths. You might rock a little side to side. You might stay more stationary and do some pulsing in and out with your knees. All things that we often do in our poses. And now, knees draw together. And you can, if you would like, take the left thigh over the right for more of a cross-legged version of this twist. But then take your legs over to the right side, onto a prop. And as you take it onto a prop, this enables the opposite shoulder, the left shoulder, to be on the ground. So you're going to try to find that place where your shoulder is resting. And if you need, sometimes moving your shoulders in the direction of the twist helps the left shoulder to come down a little bit more here. Cactus arm or T with your left arm, whichever feels the best. Turn your gaze if it's comfortable and take a big breath. And then inhale, bring legs back up to center. And crossing, if you did take the cross on the other side, cross the right leg over the left. Thighs are crossing. And then take your legs over to the left side to come to rest on a prop. And find where your shoulders can both be down. And then take the variation with your right arm that feels good. Maybe take your gaze to the right. Full breath. And now legs back up to center. And set both feet on the ground. Drop knees in together to touch for a moment. And now with your hands either resting on your belly or one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Tune into your breath. Tune into whatever has shown up in your body for sensation. And then begin to set yourself up into a really comfortable rest. If you'd like a little more hip opening here, then you can always take a pillow or bolster underneath your legs, soles of feet together, knees open in a butterfly. You can use blocks under them if you want. Or you can just rest your legs out, rest your arms, and let yourself settle in. Bring awareness back to your breath. Add some gentle movements into fingers and into toes. As you're ready to bend your knees and roll over to your side. Slowly, gently press yourself back to your seat. And then connect hands together at heart center. And take another moment with your breath to give yourself the information of whatever the sensations are. Have a very peaceful, beautiful day. Namaste.